very briefly to pick up on things that both Graham and Kate said and explain slightly more the programs that we're running at Lancaster. As Graham said, the longest standing thing that we've been running is the Distance Learning MA, which recruits incredibly well from all over the world. And we've just been looking through the applications. We have well over 50 for less than 20 places. So we get some very good people from really from everywhere who take a 2-year part-time course with a summer school in the middle. The part that I'm showing you is just the first interaction with the present cohort, which is just about to finish the course and start submitting their final portfolios. And that was the first cafe interaction where everybody who was on the course came onto it. And from the time that they did that, they were talking to one another the whole time, using all of the facilities of the site, which, as you can see in the left margin, are what I've been reading, cafe discussion. There are conferences 3 times a year that are 3 or 4 students and a tutor submitting work, discussing one another's work, and so on. And by the time of the summer school, they all felt that they knew one another, they were supposed to start talking when they got there. So the whole thing sort of came together virtually, if you like, as a community that meant that they really had interacted in a way, in the same way that students do in a face-to-face environment. Carrying on from this and recruiting even before we created it as a program, people assumed from the fact that we had a distance learning MA that maybe we had PhD provision. Before we even launched the course, we had over 13 applicants for it. So that when we finally got faculty approval to do it, we were able to choose from a really very good field. We admitted 6 students from all over the place. You can see there's somebody from London, somebody from Norway, somebody from Massachusetts, Japan, 2 others the same joining the course now from the US. So a very sort of diverse community. And I think it's one of the points that Graham will talk about a bit more, both the MA and the PhD, is that there's been huge student diversity that's been created. What we've tried to do in this is to, as I say, build on the kind of virtual techniques that we've already established, and as far as possible to replicate for the distance students the kind of interactions they get if they're actually on the campus. So there's work in progress sessions, learning logs online, which involve ongoing exchanges between tutors and students, and so on. Archive material being built up out of what I've been reading, out of the discussions that they have, out of past student dissertations, past student creative writing. All of these things are posted up on the site. Final point, I guess, is something that Kate talked about quite a bit, and this is that what we've developed on from this, what's happening at the moment, is a pilot program of research training methodology. This is something that obviously the AHRC has been pushing universities towards anyway. One of our responses in the creative writing side was to build the research training modules that Kate showed you. And the faculty has now funded us for, as she said, extending these in an interdisciplinary way, so that there are the modules corresponding to the live course. There are also freestanding modules that stop people actually having to talk to students about things like scholarly presentation, bibliography, how you use archival and online resources, and so on. The sort of nuts and bolts of how you set about doing research, whether you're a creative writer or somebody in a more traditional academic research-based and traditional sense sort of subject. So what we've done is trying to extrapolate from the creative writing base, which is really generative knowledge, to create something at the faculty level that's there both as a traditional website and as this virtual learning environment. Again, that page here, this is going on at the moment. It's the chat session about the first exercises that we've posted up, which we have something like 23 students from about 8 different departments within the faculty. So Graham will now talk to you a bit more about it. sorts of things.